This is your host, Jeremy Anderson, and today we've got a special guest here, Lisa Concepcion.
Hi.
Lisa, Lisa is a certified professional love life strategist, coach, dating and relationship expert, and founder of LoveQuestCoaching.com. She helps type A professionals who struggle with their love lives. Lisa serves as a contributing expert for EliteDaily.com, Bustle.com, and has been featured on dozens of media outlets as a go-to expert. She offers loads of free, helpful content via her YouTube channel with over 550 videos, her private Facebook group called Love Talk for success-minded people, her weekly Love Blast micro-coaching email, and daily posts across social media platforms. Lisa's coaching style delivers a no BS results-driven experience that is efficient, intuitive, effective, supportive, and empowering. You can connect with Lisa at LoveQuestCoaching.com, where she offers a complimentary love life assessment. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you for having me. This is super fun.
Yes. So I'm excited to include you on the summit because the topic I have found is, if we don't have our relationships figured out in life, nothing else really matters all that much, at least to a point, right?
It's a big part of life for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that you work with people that maybe have reached success in other parts of their lives, but their relationship is in the gutter.
Yeah. So I work with type A individuals, go-getters, business owners, people climbing the corporate ladder, and they tend to be very analytical and very logical and very goal-driven, and it's wonderful for business. But there's a whole other side of ourselves that we need to tap into more if we are to be thriving in our love lives, in our relationships. And so that's where they kind of run into trouble because they're like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I'm doing all these things. And it's more about who you're being rather than what you're doing.
Yeah. So mindset. So
Mindset and also intuition and being in your heart space and really understanding and getting clear about where you're going in your life and who is best suited to accompany you on that endeavor, on that adventure towards what it is you want to have. And a lot of people aren't factoring key things in. They're just going out trying to meet people. They're on these apps. They're not really directed with a strategy as far as what kind of energy are you putting out there to attract the kind of person you want. A lot of them aren't even clear. They're like, oh, I just want somebody who I can vibe with. I want somebody I can just get along with. And it's like, no, you don't. You want somebody way more than that. Because you could get along with somebody standing online at the bank. Right? Like doesn't mean it's going to be in a relationship with you, right? So it's important that we look at our lives and we look at our goals and we look at, what is my 5-year plan? What it for me, regardless of who's near me in my life with me. And from there, then we can say, okay, so if I'm going for this and I want to live like this, then I must invite someone into my life who's this. And it's that inner work. It's that clarity that I love doing with people because you can see once that clarity comes to them, who they get people a whole different, they show up completely different, number one, in their relationships and how they're dating. If they're single, if they're in a relationship, the relationship shifts and changes for the better. The people get closer, they have clarity, they have goals now, they're fired up, they're reconnected. And for the singles, they end up realizing, oh my God, like there's this whole other side of my business that I have to take care of. And no wonder why I'm attracting these kinds of people. I am doing these things. I am being like this when I should, right? And that's when you get into things of, I haven't even really healed fully from these other relationships that I was in, or it's mindset stuff, things that people are talking about, saying things like, there aren't any good people out there anymore. Everybody's crazy. And, the men, all women they're just crazy and they only want to do is take my money. And all those negative things, they perpetuate a belief. And then you fill that belief with who you attract. So a lot of the work I do is rooted in quantum physics. It's rooted in law of attraction, other universal laws, so that people start learning about this stuff and they can step into power. They can step into, wow, like I am a masterful creator of my life. And so if I get clear on what it is I want, it can happen to the degree by which I believe. So the belief is it, the belief. Once you have a belief and you believe like I'm going to have this person in my life period, I'm accomplishing these goals, that's the version of me I'm going to be, then it's like, okay, the universe conspires to deliver all that you want to the degree that you let it in.
Right.
That's pretty much what I teach. It's wonderful. And it's transformational. It's a journey. It's so fun. And, you know, for some people though, in the beginning, the very beginning, they could be dealing with divorce or heartbreak, and they're trying to heal some stuff. So it can be a little, you know, a little emotional in the beginning, but you hold space for your clients. You know, you're like, okay, I know what you're going through. Like, I feel your pain, but I'm here to advance you. I'm here to help you look at this from another perspective, right? Another light that we can shine on it.
So what do you say when people think that they just want to find somebody? They just want a quick whatever.
Like a hookup.
Yeah, they're not real committed. They just think they can just find somebody, whatever, and it'll work out.
Yeah, it's a lack of clarity. I mean, you have to be, you know, look, I say to women, you know, it's funny. I see women that they spend more time on picking out shoes than they pick out a guy. Like they'll let anybody come in their house. They'll let anybody crash in their house, open their fridge. But like the shoes that they buy, no, this is like, you know, they have to research the shoes. They have to go to 5 different websites. What do they have them at Nordstrom? Do I go to Saks Fifth Avenue? What am I doing? These shoes, let me call somewhere. It's like a thing. But with men, it's like, oh, you like me? You bought me dinner? Okay, come over. And it's like, no. You know, so having that clarity and knowing where you're going in your own life and the kind of person that you want with you, if even now is the season that you want something serious.
Right.
There are a lot of people out there who say they want something serious, but their lifestyle is not inviting to something serious at all.
So what would you
and those people are dating, and then the people who truly want something serious and are able to participate in that,
dated, right?
they're like, well, why would you say that you're available? You're not available at all. But it's incumbent upon the person to understand their dating strategy, the questions to ask, to then ascertain if that person is really truly for them or not.
Yeah. And then there's people that think that they know what they want, and then even people that are so stuck to what they want that they can't like allow, right? And so then they can never find the perfect person because they're turning everybody down, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's got to be like an openness, but I believe that if you have a person in your mind and it's your person, like go with that, because there's a reason why it's imprinted in your head where you're like, no, I know this woman is this. She's this tall. She does this. She runs. She's that. Like, I've seen my future glimpses of my life with this person, and this is who it is. And like, let the dance be between you and the universe, and just ask it. You know, where's my whatever your thing is, you know, where's my 5'10" blonde who likes to run and has 3 dogs, like whatever your thing is. And, you know, the quantum realm is really, really powerful, because I'll give you a personal example. 4 years ago, when I was in the season of coming out of divorce and just reemerging into the dating world again, I dated, and it was just kind of getting my feet wet. And then I realized, okay, I'm ready for something serious now. Like, the fun zone was fine, and now I got it. I'm good. And I got really super intentional with what I wanted. And I legit like wrote out, I want a guy who is between the ages of, at the time I was 44. So, okay, I said between 46 and 56. Ideally, he's from New York. Now, I live in South Beach, Miami, Florida. So I wanted a dude who is from New York, understood a mindset, you know, a kind of energy that New York people share. Yankee fan, some kind of New York sports fan. I like to go watch sports. enjoys the beach, enjoys living where we live, wanted somebody ideally a 10-minute Uber ride away or closer if possible. And my friends were like laughing at me. They were like, are you kidding me? Like, are you that specific? Well, let me tell you, I said, look, the universe pays attention to how we feel about what it is we're asking for. And so if you feel doubtful when you're asking, the universe is going to laugh at you. The universe isn't going to serve up exactly what you want. So if you almost look at a universe as like, ordering something at a restaurant, right? And if you go to a restaurant and I say, hi, yes, I would like the filet mignon. I'd like that done medium rare. I'd also love, béarnaise. And you're being specific about how you want your thing. You have all the faith in the world that that little server person is going to go back there, place your order. You don't attach yourself to the outcome. You just let it be trusting and faithful that that beautiful filet mignon or whatever it is you order is going to come to your liking. So the universe is exactly the same. You place an order, but what we do is we get all wadded up in disbelief and we talk ourselves out of the very things that are innate, we are asking for a reason, because we know what's meant for us. Yeah. And what we're doing is speaking our reality into existence. But then the human side of us gets doubtful. So I could have easily have said to my friends, oh, you're right. I'm never going to meet a guy like that here on this beach. Are you kidding me? I'm lucky. No, I said, no, it will happen. It will happen. And it did. 21 days later, I posted a picture of me and now my boyfriend of 4 years, my partner of 4 years. And I posted this picture on social media saying I met this wonderful guy and whatever. And the girls that I was with saying who it was going to be, they were like, he's really handsome. Like, what's his story? And I remembered saying to them, I said, well, what's his story? He's 51 years old. He's from New York. He's a Yankee fan and he lives 5 blocks away, walking distance. So then I put, here's my booking link. Feel free to book a session. Right. And they were like, oh my God, like that's magical. And I said, well, because if you believe, in what it is and you see the outcome, and athletes do this all the time, right? You hear a lot of athletes say like, I went into the 4th quarter, I looked at the scoreboard and I visualized it different. I saw the plays in my head. I saw myself like doing these things. And it comes to be because it's you see it and then you believe and then it comes, it manifests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you create it yourself or you have the universe assisting in that creation.
That's it. The universe has your back. You can't do this. You can't do certain things on your own. There's certain things that you take inspired action, guidance, know that you're divinely guided. And then you're like, whoa, like this, I don't know. I had this intuition to like go to Home Depot and buy this thing for my whatever. And then there in the aisle of, you could have gone a different time, but something told you to go on the way home past the Home Depot at that particular time. Wild horses couldn't keep you from Home Depot. And there you are in aisle 6 getting a light bulb and boom, there's your spouse. Right. You're like, oh my God, like I was going to come here on Saturday and something in me unexplainable was like, no, go now. And I followed the instinct. So these are the things that happen to us all the time in life. When we're trying to navigate through our lives, we're always being guided, right? Yeah. Like what I believe what happened with us was guidance, right? So you had a topic that you were going to do for this summit, and then you and I were in touch, and then it was going to work out, it wasn't going to work out, it was whatever. And then you had some kind of idea happen from infinite intelligence, boom, placed this idea in your head, and then you went with it, and now here we are today. So it's like, this, you and I, is a co-creation, a collaboration, divinely sorted out, because somebody out there needs to watch this and hear something that's a message for them.
Yeah.
All orchestrated. It's wonderful when you're like living life that way. It becomes like a really nice adventure. It becomes like a fun adventure.
I love that you pointed that out because, the way I know I grew up was much more victim mentality of life happening to me. It's not really like all orchestrated for me. It's all like happening to me. And so always thinking from that other perspective, not really from the empowered sense of, hey, how can I create this in a way that I like even more, right?
Interesting.
So
Interesting.
I'm
That
curious
must
how
have
you
been like a shift for you. That must have been like a major shift for you, because it's
took
very
a
empowering, like to go
long,
from that to be like, what? I'm the creator of my own destiny? Are you kidding me? And I could work with universal forces to make what I want happen?
a long
Sure.
practice. Yeah, it's the transition. I still find deeper and deeper layers where I'm like, wait a minute, why would I have thought that? Oh, that was disempowering. Oh, how can I? Okay, shift it back, and deeper and deeper all the time.
I love it. Good for you. Good for
Yeah,
you. I often find too with my clients, similar to me, where it takes like a major upheaval in your life to call you to this like spiritual journey, to this awakening of there's got to be a different way to think of this. And
yeah,
just asking those questions opens this door, this pathway to digging into and reconnecting with the truth of what you know of you deep inside, that you are here to thrive. It's your birthright to be prosperous and to be loved and to find love and to give love. And when you're not working in conjunction or in harmony with those beliefs, you feel crappy. You don't feel good. You feel
yeah.
like something's missing,
Right.
and life has its way of organizing itself through upheaval, job loss, divorces, breakups, awful, just awful, to reconnect you to the love, the divine love that exists inside, which is
You
your
got
number one relationship. It's the number one relationship, the relationship between you and in here, up there. So source, energy, God, whatever you want to call it, the thing that unites all of us. And it's through the quantum realm that comes through, and you make decisions from there, and you follow that guidance and that intuition. And it's beautiful when you do, because that's when miracles happen. You're in this like constant state of, I'm worthy of miracles, bring me a miracle.
right. So I'm
you
guessing you have
know
to work with people on their level of self-love to be able to find the love of their life, right?
Yes. So a lot of the work I'm doing with people is cultivating that self-love and cultivating the belief in their power. And that the more they get connected to that power, the more that they're just feeling better about themselves. And when we feel better, then the things that we want come. It's no longer chasing. It's no longer, ooh, is this guy going to text me back? Like, it's like, listen, bro, like, you're cool. Do you want to hang? Otherwise, the universe is going to bring me somebody else. So it's all good. And
Right.
none of that anxiety, dating anxiety, it's a thing. I
Yeah.
help people with that. Because people, I'm always like, be the tequila, not the lime, right? You want to be the tequila. You're not chasing, no chasing, right? It's not about that, because that's like a wadded up energy. It's like an energy rooted in lack, scarcity. It's all the same mindset, right? Of lack and scarcity. It's going to repel that person. But when you just, are living life easy breezy, loving what you're doing for yourself, that's when, you open up the space for the universe to bless you, to the universe to bring you your person at the right time, where definitively that's my person.
That is so powerful and so important because that affects us in far more than just relationships. That affects us in how we
Absolutely.
manifest everything.
Yep, exactly. And business and all of it, so when you take responsibility and you're like, wait a second, like, how am I feeling right now? Like, I'm noticing these things happening in my business. So I'm noticing these things happening in my relationships, my friendships, what have you, certain things shifting and moving. Like, what does that say about where I am emotionally? Where am I in more scarcity and fear, or I am in love and faith? Am I walking through life with faith? Everything's going to work out for me. It always works out for me. All is well. Everything's cool. Or am I like, oh my God, this thing's happening. How am I going to get out of this? Oh my God. How we approach it determines the outcome. And with relationships, we often rely on the other person to fill us up. And then that becomes a problem, because we can't control them.
Right.
We can't control their mood. We can't control what they're going through, their perspective of life.
And then once
So when we're very reliant on a person in our life to fill us up, we set ourselves up for codependency. If they go away, let's say you could have the best marriage ever, and all of a sudden this person has a business trip for 10 days. you feel like a puppet with the strings cut off because now this person is gone and you don't know what to do with yourself and all of this, right? You feel like out of sorts energetically because this person isn't there with you. And that becomes, it makes things not settling for you. And it makes the time drag out even longer, that you feel lonely. When people are lonely, you're not going to attract love from loneliness. It's two different vibrations.
Yeah.
You're going to attract love when you're feeling awesome, when you're like, oh my God, my life is great. You're in gratitude. You're full on grateful. You're like, oh my God, my life is awesome. I have this great career. I help people. I have amazing friends. We have this fun thing that we're doing. All my weekends are booked up. Like, I have a very robust, fun life. And that's when, while you're living your fun, robust life, you get invited somewhere and you're like, yeah, I'll come. Barbecue? Cool, I'll come. And boom, your person's at the barbecue.
Yeah.
Because you're listening to where you should go, what you should do, who you should speak to, and what you say. So in A Course in Miracles, which is, I don't know if you're familiar with it.
I love it, yes.
Isn't it wonderful? Oh, I love it. It's exactly that. It's the prayer of, you surrender and you say, like, let's say it's in the instance of somebody watching this and they're like, oh my God, I want to manifest love so badly in 2020. That's my thing. I want to meet my person. Then what I would encourage them to do is go by what they say in A Course in Miracles. You put the ask out to the universe, God, source, whatever you want to call it. And you say, where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say? And to whom? And you just put it out there and have trust and faith that in the opportunity, you're just asking for, put me where you got to put me. And I trust that you will put me in the right place. You will give me the right words, and I will say them to the right person. Yeah. And I will be doing something joyous when that all happens.
Such wisdom. Yeah.
Raise that. The best way to meet people. You always hear people, I met them when I least expected it.
Right?
Yeah.
The universe gives us our answers. It's just usually in the way we least expect.
You least expect it. Oh, I wasn't even looking for it. No, you were vibing it though.
Yeah, right? Yeah, so what Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about is our mind. We think what we want to create, and then it's our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings that draw it back.
Yes, exactly. Dr. Joe is a badass. Like, I studied with him in 2015, and it was a very low point in my life. And I had developed, through trauma of a relationship with a narcissistic sociopath, the aftermath of that, it manifested itself in food aversions. So I dropped, and I'm a little girl as it is, like, I went from like 124 to 113 in 2 weeks. Like, it was not good. I couldn't eat anything. I had just this awful blah feeling in the pit of my stomach. It was terrible. I was eating like potato chips and yogurt, like whatever I could get, just to nourish myself, and some fruit, but certainly not a diet that one can sustain themselves on for long. So I got a little worried. I went online. I started to look at, mind-body connection. I started Googling. I went on YouTube. I find Dr. Joe. Dr. Joe is a Rutgers guy. I'm a Rutgers girl. I'm like, oh, wait a second. This is the universe saying, here's your person. So I saw a video of his, and I researched him. I did a course with him, studied with it. Amazing. And it helped me. And it's so true that you can really heal your body. You can heal your heart. You can heal your heartbreak just by believing and visualizing. And for me, the food aversions were simply just neural pathways that were wired weird because of how I reacted to a trauma, a massive heartbreak that, it was the culmination of a divorce. And because I was codependent, as the divorce was ending, I went into a subsequent rebound relationship with somebody who was like depressive and just awful. And thankfully it wasn't terribly long, but long enough to make a mark, long enough to make me doubt my ability to keep myself safe, my ability to judge people and discern and decipher who's going to be emotionally for me or for themselves. It was a time that I was like, whoa, very wobbly. But Dr. Joe, that was like one of the people on my dream team back in 2015. I had Dr. Joe, Margaret Paul, who else? There were several others. It was great. I had an acupuncturist, a Reiki master. I had energy healers. I mean, if you told me, take this pen, balance it on your head, hop on one foot, and you'll be healed of your heartbreak, I would have done it, and I would have spent like $3,000 for the pen. That's how like desperate I was to be back to myself again. Yeah. So in 2015, I declared a 90-day post-divorce detox, where I had to face my codependency head on. And I went back in time to that little girl who was taught conditional love, taught how to be a control freak, very much operating from a place of fear and ego. And that was who was running my relationships. That's who was showing up, I'd say 80% of the time in my marriage. All the decisions I was making were from that wounded inner child position, not the grown adult. So I had to strip it all clean and really commit fully to that journey of 90 days. Just like Dr. Joe says, you're a different person at the end of 90 days. He inspired that entire thing to do, the 90 days. And I started to meditate. I started to journal, do a lot of visualization techniques. I started listening to a lot of subliminal beta, theta, delta wave hypnosis through sleep. Just, started to really care for myself, nurture myself, and become my truest love and my bestest friend. And at the end of 90 days, I loved it so much. I knew my codependency had been transformed. I was eating again. I was being me again. And I loved it so much that I said, you know what? I'm going to go another 30. I don't want to be with anybody yet. I love this. I love being with me. It's the first time in my life. I was 44 years old at the time. This was like 5 years ago, where I never knew what I was like on my own. I always had a boyfriend. I was always somebody's girlfriend, somebody's fiance, somebody's wife. Finally, at 44 years old, I remember going to get my driver's license put back into my maiden name. Now, I haven't had a driver's license in my maiden name for 17 years, right? So this is a big deal. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, I looked at that card and I was like, yeah, I'm Lisa Concepcion. I am Lisa Concepcion. Hell yeah, I am Lisa Concepcion. I'm in the parking lot of like motor vehicle, like, yeah. and it was a big deal for somebody. And I'm sure like people who struggle with codependency, people who like lose themselves in relationships, people who are excessive givers in relationships, that they prove worth. They're like, no, I'll do more for you if you're pulling away. That's all signs of codependency. And I had all of them. And I really had to go inward, handle it, get into these programs, hire coaches, really get into the commitment that I was making to myself. And that was the magic that happened. And then I codified all of it. My entire journey, I have all my journals still, everything that I did, every book I read, programs, they're all here. And I said, I am going to make this my mission. I am going to help other people who go through codependent relationships and narcissistic abuse and all this stuff to find out why, because a lot of them are thriving professionally, as I was. Yeah. I'm a smart woman. I went to college. I'm good at my job. Why am I so ass over backwards in relationships? What is that about? When you start asking the question, what is it in me that attracts this? Exactly. The door opens and the gifts come. The gifts in the form of the teachers, the Dr. Joe Dispenza, the Margaret Paul, people like us, coaches, other uplifters that you find randomly on YouTube. Not random. It's there for you, right? Abraham Hicks, found her. I've over 2,000 study hours with Abraham in the last 5 years. So, you dive in and you find what teacher, what modality can help you heal your heartbreak, help you tap into the truth of what you are. Like people watching this who might be, dealing with divorce, heartbreak, whatever, they know that there's something deeper in them that's divine, and that this is just like a big pile of BS. Like, why am I feeling like this? This is not true to who I really am.
Like, just find somebody that knows how to help me get through this mess.
To connect to who you truly are, which is love, joy, peaceful. That's it.
Yeah.
When you're out of whack with the truth of who you are, joyous, peaceful, harmonious, in sync, in flow, turned on, tapped into your life, you feel awful. And a lot of people are chronically feeling awful.
Yeah.
And what they're attracting as far as relationships, job situations, what have you, toxic people in a work environment, all of that, it's indicative of chronic beliefs that are proving true in manifestation form. So, you know, a lot of that's our power. We can really totally, listen, if I could attract a Yankee fan, 54 years old, who lives 5 blocks away from me from New York, we are powerful people. We are powerful people. We are powerful.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
so any other, we've got just a little bit of time left. Any other stories that jump out, success stories that you've had with clients?
Oh, I love that. Thank you for asking that. Yeah, you know, so I had a success story most recently, super fun, where, you know, I take my people through a journey of, let's say they come to me heartbroken. So they go through their heartbreak, they feel happy and whole. And then the next iteration is, okay, I'm ready to date again. Can you help me with that? So I'm with a person now that I've been working with for almost 6 months now. I got her from heartbreak, out of heartbreak, into harmony, and now she's dating again, and she met somebody amazing, so she's all happy. And you know, she's learning to really step into her power and purpose, dating with intention. She's like, I'm completely different now how I date. Like, I would be freaking out, I'd have this anxiety. Now I'm just like laid back, like, show me what you got, you know? And to see that confidence happen in someone, especially knowing how heartbroken she was when she first came to me, she's a completely different person. So that transformation is always like a great thing to see in my practice. I love it.
Sure. How about like on codependence, helping people shift from that, because that could be a really hard one.
Yeah, I mean, and this girl was highly, highly codependent. So, you know, she began trying to understand, like, why am I this way? And we went into this beautiful work where she learned how to nurture and care for the side of her, that traumatized little girl who was made to feel that her opinions didn't count, that she was to be quiet, be seen, not heard. What you're why are you complaining? Why are you crying? There's no reason to be crying. That kind of thing, where it taught her to stuff her emotions and acquiesce to everybody around her. And she didn't really know herself. So she had a series of relationships that were somewhat toxic, the one that really hurt her, a few others that hurt her. And finally, she said, you know what? There's something going on with me that I need to really look at and heal. And it was all rooted in codependency. And really the thing is with codependence is that they look for love outside of themselves. They don't really know how to cultivate self-love. I was completely 100% that person. So knowing the path to the cultivation of self-love, that inner work, that looking at who taught me love, like what was my childhood like who was the first person that made me feel that I had to prove my worth. Whether it was through academia, whether it was through cleaning and keeping things tidy in the house. I had a client like that where they had a little OCD because their mom left them and she stepped in to be mom, and she was only like 11 years old. So she put her little girl feelings away and she stepped up to be the woman of the house. Meanwhile, she had 2 brothers and a father. And it kind of messed her up a little bit in relationships. So there's always, people all have their thing. It's what we are here to overcome. And the sooner we overcome it with love and kindness for ourselves, the sooner we transform. And that's how that whole thing works. It's wonderful.
Yeah, you sound amazing. I have been through a lot of trainings myself, and just hearing so much of this coming out of you, I'm just like, whoa, this girl gets it. I love it.
Thank you. Hey, listen, I didn't always get it, right? I got certain things, but and look where I am now. I'm turning 49 years wise in about 5 weeks, 6 weeks. And I know there's way more to learn. There's way more to do. There's a version of me that's over here, a little higher, bigger bank account, right? And I'm working every day to step into that version of me because she exists. And so our job, right, our life's, our adventure of life is having a vision for ourselves, seeing where we are, loving ourselves where we are, so that we can close that gap from where we are to where we want to be. And that could be in love, in a relationship. It could be in business. It could be wherever there's a vision of ourselves that we have and it's real. And to get to that vision and to make it a reality, we have to go through some stuff. We got tested.
Yeah, life gives us these lessons for a reason.
Yep. And it's you got the lesson when you thank it, when you're able to look back and bless it. And I always say to people that I coach, people, in my videos and my content online, I often say, when you have an adversity in your life, always just know that this is changing. Everything's ever changing. And look forward to the day that you can look back at it and bless it. Yeah. Thank you for that thing that happened, because it made me this. Right?
Or while you're in it.
While you're in it. I mean, if you could, that's mastery. That's mastery. If you could be like, oh my God, I'm in this situation right now, but it's giving me so much like meat to dig into. The contrast is good. That's mastery.
Right now, I don't know where it's going, but I know somehow I'm going to get through it.
Yeah, and you just release it. And then you're just like, honestly, I turn it over to the divine, because it's too big for me. So you take it. Here's what I need. I need this much money. I need this type of relationship. I need this. And like now. And then you're like, all right, and it's too big. So I'm just going to go take a shower. I'm going to go walk the dog. And then you're walking, you're out minding your business, and you see a little bird. Oh, look at the bird. Nice. Or butterfly. Oh, butterfly almost landed on me. How nice. And then you go back on your computer, and there's a client or a question or an opportunity or something, because you let it go. You allowed space. Universe, do your thing.
Yeah. Wow.
And just let it be, and trust and have faith that like you're divinely guided and eternally loved. Yeah. And if you believe that, you'll be good. All is well. Nothing to freak out about ever.
It sounds like you've come a long way from being the codependent.
Control-free codependent. Trying to manage every aspect of chaos in my life. Yeah. Now I'm just like, well, I had to completely up level. I mean, I moved, if you hear the accent, I'm born and raised New York. I had to leave there and be in Florida. I had to move to a beach where I felt water and the earth and sand and warmth. Yeah. And I just had to follow where to go. So sometimes you got to get really, really uncomfortable to become comfortable truly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we probably better wrap up.
Cool.
Any final words that you'd like to offer? And in fact, maybe what?
I have presents for people.
Yeah.
I have my love language is gifts, so I like to give gifts to people.
Perfect.
Okay. So here's the gift. So if you're watching this and you're digging my flavor, my vibe, whatever, you can come hang with me, lovequestcoaching.com, and there's a free love life assessment that's customized for you. So it gives you a form, you fill out, tell me all your stuff, everything you're going through. I read it, and then I answer your specific questions right in the document, and then we hang in there, just you and me. So we can, connect. I look forward to it.
Great. All right. Thank you so much, Lisa. It's been a pleasure.
It's been great, Jeremy. Thanks for doing this for the people. You're doing a good thing.
Oh, as are you. Thank you.
Yeah. Great collaboration. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Oh, same. Yes.
All right. Until next time.
And thanks to the listeners. Much love.
Much love.